Imperial Petroleum started with only 4 vessels, and we're very happy that the fleet has grown quite considerably over this period of time.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. Joining me now is Harry Vafias. He is the CEO of Imperial Petroleum. And Harry, it's good to see you. How are you?
Thank you, guys. Happy New Year. I'm very happy to be with you once more with hopefully better news and good results and a much longer track record by now.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me a bit about the company for those not familiar with Imperial Petroleum.
Imperial Petroleum is a company that has been listed for about 3 years. It was spun off by another US listed public company called Stealthgas, ticker symbol GASS, which that has been listed for 20 years now. And Imperial Petroleum started with only 4 vessels, and we're very happy that the fleet has grown quite considerably over this period of time. But for me, the most important piece of news is not the growth of the fleet, because other people can raise debt and grow their fleet, or raise equity and grow their fleet. For me, the most interesting piece of news is not only did we grow the fleet, but we have zero bank debt on the balance sheet, which is a big differentiation point from most of the other US listed shipping companies.
Yeah. How many ships are you operating? And to say you don't have anything on the balance sheet for them, that's a pretty big statement that you're making. So how many ships are you operating right now?
We're operating 12,
Okay.
and we are supposedly taking delivery of another 7 within the next 2-3 quarters.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about you mentioned the numbers, and you've had your Q3 financials out recently or in the last little while, which showed really some big differences from 2023. So what's been going so well?
Yeah, let me give you some highlights. I'll have to look at my screen because I cannot remember everything by heart.
Yeah.
But be patient with me for 30 seconds so I can give you some figures. So revenues, for example, for Q3 24 were 33 million versus 29 million in Q3 22, which is equivalent to approximately a 13% increase. Adjusted net income was about 11 million in Q3 23 versus 6.4 million a year ago, which is a 142% increase. Cash, 200 million versus 126, which is approximately a 60% rise. And for the 9 months, the net income was 46 million, and our operating cash flow was shade below 70 million. So I think quite impressive numbers and quite a significant difference from the same quarter last year.
So what's changed? What went well? Tell me about some operational changes that you made?
And what went well was, one, we had a bigger fleet. Two, we had the war in Ukraine and the war in Gaza, which are positive for the oil tanker industry. They're very negative, of course, events, but for the business we are in, they're positive. And of course, you had the semi-blockade of the Red Sea with the Houthis, which, as you know, are firing missiles to the ships, which make us go around the Cape of Good Hope, the Cape of South Africa, in other words, which makes a voyage much longer. So you get paid more money as you're doing a longer voyage. And on the other hand, you are reducing the number of ships, as if a ship is employed for longer, it's not available for another trip very soon thereafter. So all these things together have created quite a rosy picture for our Q3 24 results.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about what's ahead in 2025. What are some of the things, Harry, that you think you'd like to do with the company, or the direction that you're taking the company in?
Look, now we have in a few weeks the inauguration of the new US president, which, as you know better than me, makes the situation a bit blurry, as He's making recently some really bold statements about Panama, about Canada, about Greenland, about all these things, which, as you understand, the majority of people in business are getting worried with this kind of statements. For shipping, this kind of statements are amazingly positive. So I don't know in the end if he's going to take over Panama or take over Canada or take over Greenland. But if he does half of the things he says, these are going to be very positive. On the other hand, having a lot of cash and no debt puts us in a very good situation, as if the market does not perform as we see and, let's say, deteriorates, which means that the prices of ships will deteriorate, then again it's good news, because A, we have the money to expand without again tapping bank debt, and two, if the day rates fall significantly, then again we have an advantage, because the other companies have to pay running costs plus interest and bank capital, whereas for us we only have to pay running costs and nothing else. So again, we can underbid the competition, steal a cargo from them, and make more money than them, as our break even is much lower as we have no bank debt.
Absolutely. Well, Harry, it sounds like it's going to be an exciting year ahead. Can't wait to see what happens in the future. Great to see you as well. And hope we get a chance to talk again in the future. Okay?
I would like to say some closing remarks, if that's okay.
Sure.
Just to say that, as you know, we are one of the few groups that are running three US listed companies, except from Imperial, i.e. IMPP. We're running Stealthgas, GASS, and C3IS, CISS. So for all the investors that are out there and are seeing this interview, different kind of companies, different kind of risks, different kind of rewards, so they can, read and more about these three companies and decide which is best suited for somebody to invest in. This is what I wanted to say.
All right. Sounds good. Harry, thanks so much. Great to see you.
Thank you guys very much.
All right. There's Harry Vafias. He's the CEO of Imperial Petroleum.